Once upon a time, in a small village by the edge of an enchanted forest, nestled between rolling hills and babbling brooks, lived a young tailor named Finn. His home was a cozy cottage with a thatched roof and a colourful garden. Every morning, he would sit on the front porch with his dear grandmother, sipping tea and admiring the beauty of nature around them. But despite their comfortable life, Finn couldn't help but yearn for a heroic adventure. He spent most of his days in his workshop, surrounded by bolts of fine fabrics from faraway lands and shelves filled with magical spools of thread. His nimble fingers were like dancing fairies as they weaved and stitched, creating the most exquisite garments known to man. He had a special talent for mending even the tiniest of holes, and his hands moved with such grace and precision. It was almost as if they had a mind of their own. Finn's hands were calloused from countless hours of weaving and stitching, but his creations were nothing short of art. His garments brought joy to the villagers, making them feel like royalty. Children flocked to him, eager to hear tales of faraway lands as he worked on their clothes. With a warm smile and infectious laughter, Finn was a beacon of light in the village. He reminded everyone that heroes could be found in the simplest of places, using their talents to spread magic and beauty. But one day, a dark shadow fell over the village. A wicked sorcerer named Malakar had moved into the enchanted forest and begun terrorizing the villagers. His minions would steal gold and cause chaos wherever they went. Worse yet, they cast a curse on the crops, causing them to wither and die. Fear gripped the hearts of the villagers as they wondered what Malakar's next move would be. The village elders decided they must do something about it at once and gathered the town in the grand courtyard of the castle for a meeting. The Grand Elder Magnus stood before the people and announced, "Someone must go into the forest and stop Malakar. Send horses far and wide. Gather every warrior from here to Timbuktu and bid them come and stand before the tribunal." Once word reached Finn, he decided this was his chance to prove he could do more than just sew fancy clothes. He adorned himself in his finest fabric, a magnificent cloak woven from moonlight and stardust that shimmered with every step. Bidding his grandmother farewell, he headed into the heart of the village. Walking through the town, he tipped his hat, adorned with the iridescent feathers of the phoenix, to everyone he passed. With not a single thread out of place and every detail carefully stitched, he approached the elders and bowed. Then he stood tall, under his flowing locks and magnificent tunic, before the wise tribunal. Magnus asked, "To what do we owe the pleasure?" More than anything, Finn yearned to prove himself and showcase his courage. With thoughts of adventure swirling in his mind, he said, "I will go and defeat the evil sorcerer. Malakar, you?" Magnus questioned, exchanging glances with the other elders. His face held a serious expression. There was silence for what seemed like forever, when suddenly a giggle escaped him. Then a chuckle echoed from another. It spread like wildfire, affecting the townspeople. It echoed through the air, a chorus of laughter that seemed unstoppable. The townspeople laughed so hard they could hardly catch their breath. Still laughing, Magnus said, "Why, you're just a boy and a tailor. You know nothing about fighting evil sorcerers. I may be just a tailor, but I can do this," Finn fervently declared. The townspeople had stopped laughing long enough to hear the boy's response, then laughed like hyenas at the absurdity of it all. Amidst the uproar, Magnus bellowed, "Next," and showed the boy a way. A courageous knight stepped forward, his armor gleaming in the light of the torches. He presented his family's ancestral sword, its blade bearing marks of past battles and generations of bravery. The elders nodded in approval, recognizing Sir Gareth's chivalry and noble lineage. Plans were made for his departure to defeat the evil sorcerer threatening their village. As he rode off to battle, the townspeople cheered and bid him farewell. That night, the village slept easy, knowing Sir Gareth would claim victory. However, their celebration was cut short as Sir Gareth returned the next morning, battered and barely holding on to life. Next in line was Lady Aurelia, a fierce archer whose skills had been honed in the depths of the ancient forest. She flawlessly hit a distant target with her arrows, each one whistling through the air with deadly accuracy. The wise elder, Magnus, nodded in admiration at her precision and focus. The village again rested easy that night, believing she would for sure prevail. Again, they were disappointed when they found her laying outside the village and had to carry her to safety. One by one, warriors of all backgrounds and abilities came forth to present their case. Among them were Thorin, a stoic dwarven warrior wielding a mighty warhammer, and Volcana, a fiery sorceress whose mastery of elemental magic left everyone in awe. But each one returned defeated and wounded, until there were no more warriors left. The townspeople were losing hope. No one knew what to do. Again, Finn approached the great tribunal. Again, he was laughed to scorn. "I need a plan," he said to himself. "They don't take me seriously, because I'm just a boy and a tailor. The next time they see me, they will take me seriously." The next day, a mysterious figure, cloaked in shadows, approached the tribunal. When asked who he was, he disguised his voice and replied, "I am Shadowblade." He wore a dark cloak that seemingly blended with the shadows themselves. The cloak was made of a lightweight fabric, flowing gracefully as if touched by an unseen breeze. Its color was a deep, velvety black, almost absorbing the surrounding light, giving the impression of a living shadow. Silent and swift, he showcased his agility by performing an acrobatic display, leaping and twirling effortlessly through the air. Magnus, with his keen senses, acknowledged his grace and the value of his stealth and cunning. The village cheered. They decided he must go and fight the evil sorcerer. That morning, as the rays of dawn painted the horizon, the warrior, known by the townspeople as Shadowblade, walked with them to the far gate that led into the enchanted forest. They bid him farewell, and he set off on his perilous journey. He trekked through the dense forest, his trusty pack carrying all his tools for adventure. In the heart of the enchanted forest, where the air was rich with the scent of wildflowers, Finn stumbled upon a peculiar sight. Near the edge of a sparkling pond, he saw a turtle caught in a discarded fishing net. The poor creature struggled and flailed, unable to free itself from the tangled web. Finn's heart ached for the helpless turtle. He quickly dropped to his knees and gently approached the frightened creature. "Don't worry, little friend. I'll get you out of here," he whispered, trying to calm the turtle. With careful precision, Finn used his trusty pair of tailor's scissors to cut through the net. With each cut, the turtle let out a grateful sigh until it was completely free. The turtle blinked its stark eyes and stretched its legs, finally able to move again. It looked up at Finn with a grateful expression. "Thank you, kind human," the turtle said, in a surprising, deep and wise voice. "You have saved me from a terrible fate." Finn was taken aback. He had never heard a turtle speak before. "I'm glad I could help. Are you all right?" The turtle nodded. "I am now, thanks to you. As a token of my gratitude, I wish to give you something special." The turtle closed its eyes and began to glow softly. Suddenly, a small shimmering shield appeared before Finn. It was made of the turtle's own shell, but it radiated energy. "Here is a special gift for you. It will help you when you need help the most. Farewell, and may your journey be filled with courage and wisdom." With that, the turtle swam away, disappearing into the pond. Finn stood there for a moment, holding the shell. He quickly fashioned a necklace using his needle and thread and set off again on his quest to defeat the evil sorcerer. As he ventured deeper, the trees grew taller and the light dimmer. Suddenly, Finn's keen ears caught the sound of a sorrowful hoot. Following the call, he discovered a wise old owl ensnared beneath a heavy tree limb. The poor creature's feathers were tattered and torn, and he could not break free. "Please, kind sir, help me," the owl implored. "I am trapped and cannot escape." Without a moment's hesitation, Finn sprang into action. Using all of his strength, he lifted the tree limb, setting the owl free. Yet, as the owl attempted to take flight, he found his wings were too damaged to lift him. "How will I ever fly again with my feathers in such a sorry state?" the owl lamented. Finn furrowed his brow in thought. "Fear not, dear owl," he said, "for I am a skilled tailor, and I shall mend your wings." With nimble fingers, he retrieved his needle and thread and carefully sewed vibrant new feathers onto the owl's wings. When he finished, the owl spread its wings and soared into the sky. "Oh, gracious tailor," it exclaimed as it glided back to Finn's side, "not only have you freed me, but you have also restored my ability to fly. In return for your kindness and skill, I bestow upon you a rare gift." From around its neck, the owl produced a lantern that shimmered like starlight. "This is no ordinary lantern," the owl explained. "It will guide your path through even the darkest parts of the forest. But its light is a secret gift, visible only to you. Moreover, it will envelop you in a gentle warmth as comforting as a hearth on a cold winter's night. Guard it well and use it wisely." With gratitude in his heart, Finn accepted the magical lantern and felt a comforting warmth radiating from it. As he continued on his journey through the forest, the lantern's light shone bright and true, leading him towards his destiny. In the heart of the enchanted forest, he soon found himself before a rickety old bridge. The bridge was guarded by a fierce troll. The troll's eyes were sharp like flint, and as he stepped forward, he spoke. His deep rumble shook the bridge. "Who dares cross my bridge?" the troll roared. "You must pay a toll." Finn took in the troll's haggard appearance and noticed his tattered clothes. With a calm smile, he approached the towering creature. "Dear troll," Finn said, "let me make you a new coat." The troll was taken aback by Finn's kind offer. No one had ever shown him such compassion before. He stepped aside to let Finn through. Using materials from the enchanted forest, Finn crafted a coat fit for a king. Soft moss formed the base, its deep green blending seamlessly with the forest's colors. Delicate threads of spider silk held it together, glistening in the sunlight like morning dew. Downy feathers as light as air and as soft as clouds were added for warmth. Colorful leaves adorned the coat, shimmering like jewels. Lastly, he added a clasp made from a polished acorn, its surface smooth and shiny, which fastened the coat securely around the troll's broad shoulders. When Finn finished, the coat was a masterpiece. It was as magnificent as the forest itself. The troll marveled at the coat, his eyes wide with wonder. He had never seen such a splendid garment. The troll put on his new coat, and his hard eyes softened. "Thank you for your kindness," he said. "Because you have been so good to me, I will let you pass. But before you go, take this gift." The troll handed Finn a piece of golden thread, which sparkled with a magical light. "This thread has special powers," the troll said. "It may help you in ways you cannot yet imagine." Finn thanked the troll and tucked the golden thread safely away. As he crossed the bridge, the troll called after him, "Good luck on your journey, kind tailor. May you find what you seek." As the sun began to set behind the jagged peaks, Finn pushed forward, determined to face the evil sorcerer. A looming castle appeared in his sights, its tall, dark towers reaching towards the foreboding sky. Finn's heart raced with fear as he approached the huge iron doors. The doors slowly creaked open, revealing the wicked sorcerer with glowing eyes and a sinister smile. "Welcome, Finn, a renowned tailor," he hissed. "I have been expecting you, and I think you could be useful." Finn took a deep breath and entered the castle. "How do you know my name?" he asked cautiously. "How could I be useful to you?" The sorcerer smiled, revealing sharp, yellowed teeth. "First we shall dine." He was led to a grand dining hall where a feast was laid out before him. Despite the delicious spread, Finn ate sparingly as his mind raced with fear. After the meal, the sorcerer stood and gazed at Finn intently. "You are a master tailor, are you not?" he asked. Finn nodded warily. "Tonight, you will prove your worth by creating a cloak for me, more sinister than any that has ever been made," the sorcerer declared with an evil laugh. "And you will do it by morning or die." Before Finn could protest, the sorcerer snapped his fingers and two large guards appeared, seized him by the arms and dragged him from the banquet hall. They pulled him through the dark castle, down a winding staircase, and finally threw him into the coldest, darkest part of the dungeon. Finn shivered in the icy darkness, but he was not without hope. He wondered what he would do. Then he remembered the gifts he had been given. From under his cloak, he retrieved his magic lantern. The lantern flickered to life, casting a soft, warm glow that only he could see and feel. The warmth spread through his body, banishing the chill, and the light illuminated the space around him. He found some fabric nearby. Finding no thread, he thought for a minute. Then he remembered the spool of golden thread the troll had given him and set to work. His fingers moved swiftly and skillfully, weaving the fabric with the magic thread. The lantern's light guided his hands, and the warmth gave him the strength to continue through the long, cold night. Hour after hour passed, and finally, as the first light of dawn began to break, Finn held up the completed coat. Just then, the sorcerer and his guards entered the dungeon. "Is the coat ready?" he demanded. Finn nodded and handed the coat to the sorcerer. "Good," the sorcerer snapped, then ordered the guards, "Destroy him," as he greedily snatched the cloak from Finn's hands and eagerly put it on. The guards, attempting to lay their hands on Finn, received a shock that threw them to the ground. Finn looked to see the source of it and saw the turtle shell necklace the turtle had given him, glowing with energy. The sorcerer grumbled, "Do I have to do everything myself?" He pivoted menacingly in Finn's direction. Suddenly, the golden threads glowed brighter and began wrapping tightly around him. The sorcerer tried to escape, but he couldn't. His powers were trapped in the coat. "What have you done?" the sorcerer shouted, but it was too late. The coat held him tight, and he fell to the ground, powerless. The guards were astounded as they realized they were no longer under the evil sorcerer's control. "Who are you?" they asked Finn. Wearily, he replied, "I'm just a boy who wants to go home." The guards immediately secured the evil sorcerer and said, "Lead the way." Finn picked up his lantern and walked out of the dungeon, feeling exhausted but victorious in defeating the sorcerer and his oppressive rule. After securing horses from the stable, they galloped towards home. As they approached the village gates, gasps and whispers spread among the villagers who had spotted them. A crowd quickly formed as people of all ages rushed to see what was happening. Magnus, the wise elder, stepped forward and addressed the sorcerer with a stern voice. "You have caused great suffering, but now you will face justice." The villagers murmured in agreement with their beloved elder. They had all felt the pain inflicted by the sorcerer and were ready for justice to be served. "Brave Shadowblade," Magnus continued, admiration evident in his voice, "you have saved our village from this curse. We owe you our deepest gratitude." Finn, still dressed in his magnificent costume, looked around at the familiar faces. He knew it was time to reveal his true identity. With a sense of pride and courage, he removed his mask. "It's me, Finn," he declared boldly. "I may be just a humble tailor and a young boy, but I couldn't stand by and watch my village suffer." Gasps and shocked whispers rippled through the crowd. The villagers stared in disbelief as they recognized the young tailor they had once scorned. For a moment, there was silence as the villagers processed this information. Then, like a wave crashing over them, understanding and admiration flooded their hearts. Magnus's eyes shone with pride as he spoke again. "Finn," he said warmly, "we were wrong to doubt you. You have shown us that true bravery comes from within. No matter who you are, you may be small in stature, but your heart is bigger than any sword or magic. You have proven yourself a true hero." The villagers, now filled with admiration and respect, began to cheer. They lifted Finn onto their shoulders. The tailor had become their hero. Finn's heart felt light and full of joy, knowing he had not only defeated the sorcerer, but had also earned the respect and love of his village. From that day on, Finn was no longer just the village tailor. He was a symbol of courage and a reminder that even the smallest person can make a big difference. And whenever the village faced a challenge, they would remember the legend of Shadowblade, the brave young tailor who saved them all.